As many of you already know, today the park of Silverwood located in Idaho just announced a brand new coaster. Earlier today, they announced Stunt Pilot, a brand new RMC Raptor coming to the park for the 2021 season. This coaster is not only a perfect fit for the park, but it's also just going to be an amazing ride. Even though this coaster is a clone, we still have a lot to talk about. So join me as in this video, I completely analyze everything about this ride and answer the question of what does Stunt Pilot mean for Silverwood and the coaster industry. But like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I post brand new videos just like this every week, and I absolutely love all of the wonderful support that this channel has been getting. And as you may know, this is my first analysis video that I've ever done. And if it turns out that you like this type of video, please let me know in the comments below, and if you have any ideas of how I can improve it, let me know that also. But now let's get to the video. So earlier today, Silverwood announced Stunt Pilot. This is an RMC Raptor and is pretty much an exact clone of Railblazer at California's Great America. This coaster has a height of 106 feet, a top speed of 56 miles per hour, a track length of 1,800 feet, and 3 inversions. Basically, if you're a coaster enthusiast, you will 100% know what the ride experience is like, because this is RMC's prototype model that is featured on both Wonder Woman and Railblazer, so I'm not really going to be going over the layout that much. But what I am going to be talking about is the theme. As the name obviously tells us, this coaster is going to be themed to stunt pilots, or more specifically the old stunt shows that they used to do at Silverwood. This coaster sports a very cool color scheme, with it having white track and red supports. I think it's very interesting that the track color is going to be white. White coasters are somewhat rare, so I think it's going to be very cool to see this coaster in person. Like I said earlier, this coaster is a typical prototype Raptor clone, but one thing is very different between this and the other Raptors, and that is the fact that this coaster will only consist of 2 trains instead of 3. Silverwood isn't really a huge park, so it makes sense that they only need 2 trains. However, there is a huge difference between this coaster and the other Raptors, and that is the fact that instead of having 8 cars per train, this coaster is going to have 10. That means that the back row rides of this coaster are going to be insane. I personally was not expecting this to happen. I thought that they would just go with a typical 8 car per train model, so I'm very curious to see how this turns out. As for the theme of this coaster, I think it's perfect. I think it not only ties in the legacy of the park's old stunt show, but I think it will fit the park perfectly. I think that the park could definitely do some great things with theming for this ride. I think that the station will be themed to an airplane hangar, and the front of the trains are going to be airplanes, and the whole train is just going to be great looking. I think that the front car of the train especially is going to look really good. When this coaster was announced, it really wasn't a surprise to anyone. Because this park is a smaller park, they can't really afford huge coasters, so a clone like this is possibly the best coaster that's in the park's price range. On top of this, the park is literally only 20 minutes away from RMC, so the shipping cost of this coaster is practically non-existent. Many enthusiasts, including myself, predicted this coaster, but I don't think any of us really thought about what this means for the coaster industry. I think that this single ride will have lasting implications. Let me explain. I think that this will mainly affect the coaster industry in 2 ways. The first way is that I think it could possibly lead to another RMC at Silverwood. I think Stunt Pilot is serving as the stepping stone for RMC and Silverwood. If Stunt Pilot is a success, I think that we could see another RMC in the distant future. And I'm not talking about another Raptor. I'm talking about an RMC conversion of an old wooden coaster. If Stunt Pilot creates a good relationship between RMC and Silverwood, I think it's very likely that they will work together again in the future. The second thing that this coaster shows us is the fact that RMC's original intention for the Raptor is working. RMC's original intention for the Raptor was to make as many clones as they could. They originally were not planning on making huge custom coasters like Jersey Devil. When they introduced their prototype model with Wonder Woman Golden Lasso, they were hoping that that model alone would take off. RMC only ended up selling 2 Raptors within the first year. But now fast forward to now, and that business model seems to be really working well. In 2018 there were only 2 Raptors, but by the end of the 2021 season there will most likely be at least 7. That's a huge jump, and the thing is that we were only seeing Raptors in 2021 and 2018. That means over the course of 2 years they are at 7 Raptors. 2021 is rumored to be bringing the addition of 5 Raptors, including Jersey Devil, Stunt Pilot, and 3 more. I think coasters like Stunt Pilot show us that RMC as a company is doing really well, and they will most likely keep it up in the future. So those are two things that I think Stunt Pilot tells us about the coaster industry. One is that Silverwood might work with RMC again in the future, and two is that RMC's original single rail business plan is working. So that is my take on Stunt Pilot. I think that Stunt Pilot is an amazing addition to Silverwood, and it's an amazing ride in general. I don't think that Stunt Pilot is going to be like the other clones. In fact, I actually think it's going to be even better, mainly because of the 10-car train and the theming. So I think Silverwood definitely did a great job with this one, and I cannot wait to see this thing get built. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see content just like this every week, and comment below your thoughts on Stunt Pilot. This is the Coaster Josh signing out.